Hey there, and welcome to Creative You Art Lesson Crates. This is Karen, and I'm your art instructor for today. And we are going to be working on Vincent van Gogh. This is the one that most people are looking forward to. It is one of my favorite canvases. It's done by, like I said, Vincent van Gogh, who was born in March of 1853 and sadly died July of 1890. He was not very old. He was a troubled artist, not going to deny that. I'll go into the story a little bit while we're painting, but he put out so many paintings. Many of them were self-portraits, but they were always, the self-portraits in particular always just seemed so sad. And I just really feel like he didn't ever get the help that he needed. He tried to use art as his outlet, but it just didn't work. All right, so you have some art supplies. You have little containers of acrylic paint. Acrylic paint does not come off of your clothing unless you go straight to a water source. I mean, the minute it gets on you, you run. Otherwise, go ahead and put on an apron or junk clothes. You will need a plate or a piece of paper or something to put your paint onto. You have a paintbrush that came with your set. You will need a water source. Any kind of a container is fine. A bowl, a cup, a wine glass. It does not matter. It's just to clean your brush in between colors. That's it. You're going to need a napkin. A napkin is to dry your paintbrush off. And you need your little canvas. I do think it might be useful to be able to use a pencil to draw first. So go ahead and get yourself one of those as well. All right, so I'm going to start off by taking my brush out of my water, dry it off gently, and I want to show you something about the drying off of a paintbrush. When you dry off your paintbrush, don't do this. If you do that, you know what you're doing? You're giving your brush a bad hair day. It's going to look like me in the morning, and that's not very pretty. What you want to do is gently drag the bristles till it comes dry. Now, I don't care for the grid lines on the canvases, so I'm going to white them out. If you like the grid lines to help you, that's fine, but it's not necessary for this painting. They automatically come on the canvases in the little set that you got. I personally, like I said, I do not care for them. Make sure you spread out your paint really well. You don't want any clumps, bumps, or boogers. And there you go. Once you have that painted, you can blow dry it or let it air dry. I'm going to blow dry it. The way I will know that it's dry is it won't be shiny. Acrylic paint has a shine to it whenever it's wet. I don't know if you can really tell in this camera, but it's shiny. Once it's dry, it won't be shiny. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. I will be back in just a second. All right, so now what we're going to do is sketch out our basic Starry Night. First, we want to draw in that tree. Now, I'm not sure if it's a tree or if it's flames. There's a big mystery over that. But honestly, to me, it looks like a tree. So what we're going to do is roughly sketch it out. It comes up in a light little wave, nothing choppy. It's going to come back up, come down, up, down, up, down. It doesn't have to be exact. I mean, honestly, people know Starry Night. And now we're going to add our little bit of a landline. It goes to a slight little arch. And on that little landline, you have a little house. Now that is a childlike house. We need to do something a little less childlike. All I did for this is just an upside down V and almost a full square. So I'm going to add a little line coming out of all three sides, and I'm going to echo this line. Let's give it a steeple, because this is going to be our church. Let's give it a door. Okay, we can add a few more houses. We're not going to do as many as in the original because we are working small scale. Remember, it's an upside down V, part of a square, Draw your lines coming off the same direction as the church and double the other lines. Let's go ahead and add like one more over here, but I'm going to do this one going this direction. And it's going off the page. And that one as well. These are just sketches. We're going to be painting on top of it anyway. It's okay. Now behind those houses is kind of a rolling hills. So it's kind of like a curvy Y. Hills. 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 And then we have, I guess it's wind. Nobody really knows what it is. It just looks like a wavy line in the background. What I'm drawing here is this yellow right here. This curvy line that goes all the way across. Make sure that this area here is continuous. If you have this one end here and this one up here, it's going to look funny. So it needs to be a continuous line. If you draw through to help you, that's fine. Let's go ahead and place in our moon, a C, and a smaller C. And let's place in our swirls. There's two very dominant swirls in this painting. We're going to start towards the top. We're going to come on around, up, in and back. And then this one is going to come from the inside. Swirl, kind of like the Nike sign. And then this side comes back. You can curve it more if you want to. But we just want to give the illusion of wind. Vincent van Gogh was so many years before his time, it was just amazing the things that he came up with. The fact that he put paint on canvas to make it look like wind is mind-boggling. Because you can't see wind. How do you portray wind? Well, he figured it out. You're going to dash your lines and you're going to make some swirls. Now I'm a right-hander, so I'm going to put my napkin on one side and my canvas on the other. I'm going to put my paints here. Now, you'll notice I didn't use all the paints that came with your kit. You don't need them all. You can use them for other things, and you can paint your little easel if you want to. Totally up to you. The colors I did choose to use are blue, white, black, yellow, brown, and orange. If you'd like to add additional colors, please feel free. I'm just kind of staying true to the Starry Night look. Totally up to you. To start with, what I want to do is dry off my brush. I want to come over here to my blue and my white, and I want to come swirl up a little bit together. I'm making a softer blue. I'm going to put some on my brush, but I'm not scooping it. It's not a spoon. It's a paintbrush. It's meant to be dipped. And I'm going to come over here and I'm literally going to fill in everything except for my swirls. Well, why am I filling it in solid if it's dashed? Well, when you paint dashed, there's a chance that you're going to miss parts of the canvas. So what you're doing is you're giving yourself a base coat that you will be able to use just in case you don't fill in the whole thing. We'll come around. Don't paint in your sun or your moon. Paint around it. If you accidentally paint in it, it's not the end of the world. Just take white